Okay, coming to benzene and the properties, the special reaction and the properties shown by benzene. In the previous videos we had discussed a bit about benzene, why benzene is stable and stuff we have already discussed. Here I'm going to teach you the naming of benzene, some compounds of benzene, positions of benzene, and the special kind of reaction benzene undergoes. Now benzene is, remember, it can be represented by either of the two structures, which is a 6-membered carbon skeleton and has alternate double bonds. What is unique to benzene is that the position of double bond is not fixed. So benzene is better shown by drawing a circle inside the cyclic system. What does this represent? This represents a ring of pi electrons. Remember, these are formed by the overlap of the unhybridized p orbitals. So there's a ring of pi electrons above and below the plane. We have seen that there's resonance. The double bonds the positions are delocalized. This delocalization is called stabilization energy. Remember, because delocalization lowers repulsion. This lowering of energy due to resonance and due to delocalization is termed as resonance energy or stabilization energy. Just to remind you, carbon is sp2 hybridized. So it's a planar molecule. sp2 hybridization is a trigonal planar structure, if you remember. And the p orbitals, the unhybridized p orbitals have formed these pi bonds. The unhybridized p orbitals form a system of pi electrons above and below the plane. In other words, it's a planar molecule with electron density above it and electron density below it. Why? Because of the sidewise overlap of the p orbital, okay, of the unhybridized p orbital. So it's an electron-rich system. So benzene is an electron-rich system. So what is it likely to be attacked by? Species which are seeking electrons. So we will see that most of the reactions, common reactions of benzene, and the ones specially we do, are the ones where benzene is attacked by an electrophile or a species seeking electron. We'll talk about that in a bit. Let me first tell you how to name these compounds. Children, we can start counting from any carbon because all these carbons are equivalent till benzene is mono-substituted. This means the moment I introduce a substituent on benzene, I fix this as the position as carbon number 1. Right? So until it's substituted, like in these cases where benzene was not substituted, all the 6 positions were equivalent. No position got more preference than the other. However, the moment I substitute the hydrogen, X could be a halogen, it could be a nitro group, it could be a cyano group, it could be an OH group, it could be anything. So the moment I substitute one of the hydrogens, this becomes position number 1. So monovalent benzene, this is mono-substituted benzene. Right. Now I can begin counting clockwise or anti-clockwise, it doesn't matter. But this is the only position I have fixed is this. To give you examples of this, this is position 1. So I will never write it as 1-chlorobenzene. This would be written as chlorobenzene. This is commonly known as toluene or methylbenzene. This is the trivial name, but for a large number of aromatic compounds, we use the trivial names as IUPAC names also in the same breath. So these are about mono-substituted benzenes. So mono-substituted benzene, the moment you substitute, you fix that carbon as carbon number 1. Okay. Now coming to the next class of compounds which are di-substituted. Okay. So this means I had already a substituent on benzene. Remember I told you the moment you substitute, that gets fixed as carbon number 1. Now I'm putting the second substituent. Let's see what are the places I can put the second substituent. I can put it here. I can put the second substituent here. or I can put the second substituent here. Okay, why are these the only three positions available? Because either whether I put it here or on this side, they're going to be the same, because I told you once I fix one, these two positions are equivalent till they are occupied. Similarly, whether I put it here or on this carbon on this side, they are the same. And this is the only possibility, right? Now, so this is 1,2 disubstituted compound. This is 1,3 and this is 1,4. So this means I'm just marking the positions. I'm not telling you anything else. I'm just telling you that this is 1,2 disubstituted, 1,3 disubstituted and 1,4. And there can be no other substitutions. Disubstitution can either belong to the three categories. You can try, there can be no other positions possible, because if you substitute it here instead of here, it still is a 3. If you substitute it here instead of here, it's still a 2. And 4, there is no other place. Okay. Now in chemistry, we give special names to these products. This means we may skip writing 1,2. Instead of 1,2, we write ortho, also abbreviated as O. So ortho substitution means substituents. It's a disubstituted benzene and the substituents are present at position number 1 or 2. So rather than saying 1,2, I can also call it ortho. I'll give you tangible examples. Similarly, this is 1,3. 1,3 is also known as meta or abbreviated as M. 1,4 is known as para, abbreviated as P. Okay, 3 examples which are written. This could be named as 1,2 dichlorobenzene. They're all dichlorobenzenes. Now, if you realize, they're all dichlorobenzenes. But instead of writing 1,2, what can I write? Orthodichlorobenzene. It would mean the same. Similarly, I can write meta-dichlorobenzene instead of 1,3. And instead of 1,4 dichloro, I can write para-dichlorobenzene. So this is all you need to know about the disubstituted benzene. We're now going to study the chemical properties of benzene. So just discussing what we discussed in the last portion, benzene is highly stable because of the resonance energy due to the delocalization of electrons. Okay. Now you would think that it should behave like an alkene. What are the kind of reactions alkene undergo? Alkenes undergo electrophilic addition. This means they undergo addition at the double bond and they lose their double bond character. Now if benzene had to do so, it will also lose its stabilization energy. This means if benzene undergoes addition, it will lose its double bond character. Remember, this double bond character is responsible for its stability, because this partial double bond character, which is throughout, maintains the stability of benzene. So if I am to take away that character, I am reducing the stability. So benzene, like other double bonded compounds, alkenes, I would not say it doesn't undergo, but we would rather say it does not prefer undergoing electrophilic addition, because it wants to retain its stability, its resonance stability, by retaining its double bond character. So what else did we talk about in the last section? About the fact that it's electron rich. Because it's electron rich, it's likely to be attacked by electrophiles. So the kind of reaction it undergoes is not addition. It does not add. But remember substitution, where we swapped, like we did nucleophilic substitution, it's like swapping of hats. So similarly, we are swapping. So we are swapping what? We are swapping hydrogen by an electrophile. So the kind of reaction benzene undergoes is electrophilic substitution, where the hydrogen is substituted by the electron deficient species. So the kind of reaction which we see commonly seen by benzene compounds or aromatic compounds or arenes are electrophilic substitution. Remember, it's different from addition. Substitution is swapping. So we are swapping the hydrogen for the electrophile. there is no loss of double bond character, there is no loss of resonance, hence aromaticity is not lost. Okay. The kind of electrophiles which we will do as a part of our syllabus. Remember, electrophiles are either positively charged or electron deficient species. So what are electron deficient species? They are Lewis acids. So they are seeking electrons. So Lewis acids, we will see some Lewis acids, and we will also see positively charged species. Like nitronium ion. Right, so there would be some Lewis acids which you see, there would be positively charged species which you see during the reaction, the electrophilic substitution in benzene. So I'm showing you generally what happens, and I'll take specific examples. Okay. Now an electrophile which is a positively charged species is attacked by the electrons. Remember, we are going to draw an arrow, and this arrow has to be from the electron rich center to the electron deficient center. So this is it. A complete arrow which shows that these electrons are being used to form a temporary bond. So the first stage is this, which results in a transient species, a temporary species, where both hydrogen and the electrophile is attached to this carbon, and there is loss of symmetry. There is a positive charge in the ring. Why? Because one of the pi electrons have been lost to a bond which the carbon has formed with the new electrophile, right? So that is why there is a loss of symmetry. You see the symmetrical nature, the delocalization of electrons, we have lost it for some time. So this goes without saying that this stage is going to be the most difficult to achieve. In other words, the activation energy for this step is going to be very high because there is a loss of symmetry. We are losing symmetry as we are going to the stage. So what follows this? What follows this is, remember, it's substitution. So it has to be, this hydrogen has to be substituted. So in the next step, the hydrogen goes away. How? The hydrogen is bound to this carbon by this electron. So it leaves its electron behind, right? So, and this electron which hydrogen leaves behind, it re-establishes a pi bond with the carbon, and hydrogen is left without its electrons, right? So H plus. So this is basically the steps in which the electrophilic substitution occurs. Remember, it's not addition. It is not losing its double bond character. Unlike an alkene, it does not react like an alkene. It undergoes substitution, which is like swapping, changing hats. So hydrogen substituted by an electrophile by a transient temporary intermediate stage, which is basically a very high energy state in terms of activation energy, large amount of energy required because we are moving from symmetry to asymmetry. The last stage is the reformation of the pi bond and the delocalization. It's re-established, the symmetry established again, and hydrogen going away as H plus. So I will show it to you as tangible examples. First, let me draw the energy diagram for this. Okay, so I have drawn energetically the different stages. I'm going to mark them with a different colored pen. So you see, these are the reactants. What are the reactants? Benzene and the electrophile. The electrophile is a positively charged species. This is the intermediate that is formed, and you can see that this is the energy of activation. You see, this is a very high energy state because it leads to loss of aromaticity and loss of symmetry. It's a non-aromatic carbocation. Requires a lot of energy to form this. And then we finally have the products which are at a low energy. And remember, the difference between the two is the enthalpy of reaction. Products and reactant. This is the enthalpy of reaction, the difference between the two, and this is the energy of activation. So this is the energy profile diagram for substitution. Remember, it's a substitution reaction. So eventually I'm substituting one of these hydrogens. They are all equivalent. So any one of it by the electrophile. So it's like swapping. I am not adding. So addition would have been where both hydrogen and the electrophile would have stayed. But because the hydrogen is going away, it is substitution, not addition. Okay. So now these are the reactions which I am going to take you through the mechanisms, and these are the examples. I am just first listing them up because it's so that it's easy for you to see. The first reaction is called nitration of benzene. I'll take you through the steps, but once I do one reaction, you will see most of the reactions have the similar steps. So this is nitration. So this, what we get is NO2 substituted product. This is called nitrobenzene. Okay, and then we get a halogen substituted benzene, a halobenzene. X could be chlorine bromine iodine. This is halogenation, and this is alkylation. This has a special name. I'll talk about it in a bit. The first reaction is nitration of benzene. Now for nitration of benzene, we require concentrated sulfuric acid and concentrated nitric acid. It has somewhat a structure like this. Okay, plus sulfuric acid, H2SO4. So this is the structure of sulfuric acid and the structure of nitric acid. Now sulfuric acid is a stronger acid, as a result of which it protonates the nitric acid, right, resulting in the formation of, and this is what generates the electrophile. So the first step is the protonation of, there's a lone pair over this oxygen, so there is protonation. Simply take it as this being the stronger acid, it gives away a proton, like we have done in the acid-base theory. So this is step 1. So step 1 is so just taking away this for a bit. So I have SO4 H minus, because it has given away a proton, right? So HSO4 minus, which has given away a proton, and this is what the structure looks like. Okay, and this is what I've converted the coordinate bond into the first place, minus and minus. Okay. Now what will happen is this oxygen has 3 bonds. So what will it do? It will, because it has to get rid of the positive charge it has. It will get rid of the positive charge by taking away the electrons from here. And this remains SO4H minus, it remains. So what we get is an electrophile which is called the nitronium ion. It has something which has a positive charge. So the first stage is the generation of this. So once this NO2 plus is formed, the second step is what we had already done. So the benzene ring as a hydrogen. What is the intermediate? The transient species that's formed. Loss of symmetry. There's loss of symmetry, followed by hydrogen leaving. So we get plus H plus. And so this H plus, which was taken away here, is generated in the last step. So sulfuric acid is acting as a catalyst here. So you see sulfuric acid got deprotonated, it gave away its proton to O, and that is why it became HSO4 minus. Now it's gaining the proton back, it will become H2SO4 again. So these are the steps in the nitration of benzene. So you see how nitration of benzene has happened. So it's substitution again, because we have substituted hydrogen by NO2. The second reaction which I have written is halogenation. I am showing the example of chlorine. You can take any example, right? But remember to change the halogen carrier as well. Okay. You see AlCl3 is a Lewis acid, also known as the halogen carrier. This means it does not have an octet. So it's seeking electron pairs. So the first step is, in this case, is heterolytic bond fission. One of the chlorine atom is taking away the electron pairs with itself, the one where the electron head is. It's joining with AlCl3, which is going to carry the halogen, which becomes AlCl4 minus because it has accepted Cl minus, and a chlorine ion, a positively charged chlorine ion is generated. This is step 1. Now step 2 is similar to what we had done in the previous case, and they are all similar. It's this hydrogen, it's benzene, plus attack by this electrophile, formation of the intermediate asymmetric non-aromatic carbocation, loss of hydrogen, and this H plus will retrieve the Cl and AlCl3 will be reformed. This means this H plus is going to eventually combine with the Cl minus to form HCl, regenerating the catalyst. Remember, a catalyst will never be used up in the reaction. So I'm not writing it down, but it's a food for thought. Think what is happening. H plus takes away the Cl minus, becomes HCl, AlCl3 returned back. So the regeneration of the catalyst. The last reaction, which is also similar to the one I have written, it's also named after a scientist. It's called a name reaction, and it's a very, very important method. It's called the Friedel-Crafts reaction. This Friedel-Crafts reaction is also similar to the halogenation we have seen. Again, we have a halogen carrier, but this time we are doing the alkylation. We are introducing an alkyl group on benzene, right? So a halogen carrier plus a halogenoalkane. An alkane which is substituted by a halogen, could be any. This is again a halogen carrier, a Lewis acid. It's similar to what we had done in the previous case. Heterolytic bond fission, Cl minus going away, a carbocation is generated. The second step is similar to what we had seen so far. It's substitution of the hydrogen. I'm sorry, CH3 positive is the electrophile. Attack, remember, look at the direction of the arrows again. So both a transient species where both the hydrogen is attached, a positive charge, breaks up symmetry. Finally, hydrogen leaves its electrons. Methyl benzene. Because I started with methyl chloride or chloromethane. If you started with any other alkyl group, that alkyl group would have got introduced, plus H plus. Again, like in the previous case, the H plus will combine with AlCl4 minus to form HCl, and the catalyst would be regenerated. So these are the properties of benzene.